Dr. King was interested in all people getting rights for blacks and whites.
I remember one time especially when he received his Nobel Peace Prize. The first place he came to after he received that, I can see him now coming in the door with a white shirt on, with dark pants. This was the first place he stopped in at the Dorchester Center. He said, "Did you ever shake his hand? How does his hand feel?" Just an ordinary man with extraordinary purposes to do.
Just humble, very nice, quiet.
Before Martin came in was just white go your way, black go your way. We just weren't together. Martin came in to let us know that there was a better way.
One of the main things, you see, we don't like to talk about integration, and we don't like to talk about segregation sometimes now.
And so many people now, they just don't have the feelings to know such a character was in our midst and right here in Liberty County.
Dorchester, through the years, has played an important part in the movement in Liberty County. When Dr. King came, there were a number, as I said, there used to be busloads of people coming from all the 11 southern states. And those people that had gone back were supposed to go back and teach others.
I went to the school of Dorchester and finished there in 1932. And you can't lose if you get an education. You can't lose. People know that this is a historical place, and this is where it all started.
We didn't really know Dr. King as we know him today. So it was nice to see him, and we'd stand and talk, and we'd say, somebody would say, Dr. King is here today, and you'd come up here if you wanted to see him. I would stand out here sometime over there and see him playing kickball. And we just, it wasn't, I guess if I had known him like I do now, I would have stopped and watched him play kickball. But, just to see somebody playing kickball with a group of people, wasn't that much.
Beverly Gross was a student at Liberty County Black High School during the time Dr. King visited. She got inspired by him and joined the civil rights movement to help organize and teach people how to vote. Gross said that without the students, the civil rights movement would not have been as strong. When Dr. King came to visit Dorchester, he stayed in this room that has been kept just the way it was back then.
One thing they did was to plan the march on Birmingham, right over there in the building. So on my way from choir rehearsal, and I had gotten up to Main Street, and I heard that Dr. King had been killed. And I went on Fort Stewart, but I was very sad and very shocking.
I saw my husband just cried like a baby. Oh, it wasn't an easy thing to know this. Nobody. It was hard to believe. But he was brave, wasn't he?
Dr. King was here that night. And so they came down to the school where I was teaching and said, Dr. King is up at the center, Dorchester Center. So we all ran up here. And in talking with Dr. King, I asked him if he would autograph my program, and he did. It's important to celebrate and to remember.
Life for me ain't been no crystal stale. It's had tacks in it, splinters, bows torn up, places where there ain't been no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time I've been climbing on, reaching landings and turning corners, and sometimes going into the dark where there ain't been no light. So, boy, don't you turn back. Don't you turn back now. For I'm still going. I'm still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal sail. And that's what we all sing right now.